Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's LeTicia with BearFruit Gardening. I just wanted to show you all real quick how I succession plant tomatoes and how I prune the suckers on a tomato to make a new plant. So often, like, I prune heavily on my tomato plants because I have to grow everything so close together, and airflow is really important. One of the factors that you need to take into consideration when you want to try your best to prevent disease on your plants. And so I do prune everything from the bottom going to the top. The leaves do not produce anything for you. You cannot eat them on tomato plants. They are poisonous to humans and animals. So no need to keep them if you don't need them. Excuse me. And so here I have a Cherokee purple tomato plant, and you can see that I have pruned off all the stems, all the leaves up to a certain point. Now you do need to leave some leaves because that's how the plant gets its energy, right? Through photosynthesis. And so you want to make sure that you have that available for the plant. And so, but yeah, no need for that. Plus you take the bottom leaves off. You could also prevent from soil splashing onto the leaves, which can cause disease as well. It's just, those particles or fungus, spores, whatever the names are in the soil that causes the disease. So there's nothing you can do about it other than try to prevent it. And then of course there's sprays and things that you can use too, but we're not getting into that today. So this is a Cherokee purple plant, and so I just looked for suckers, and suckers are in the armpits. I like to say the armpit of the tomato. And so here's one. So here's the main stem. Put my finger in the camera here. And then you have these branches, right? But do y'all see this one coming up in the middle here? That's a sucker. And so what I want to do is just snap that off. You can use a pair of scissors or what have you. And see, this drains energy from the plant because it's basically creating another plant. And so I'm going to, what I did with these others, or some of the suckers, was go ahead and just drop them in the soil. And it was really wet here, and so I just want to make sure, like, when this plant is getting watered, and now that I've mulched it, it's going to help a lot. But I just stick it in the soil just like this, just jab it in there, cover it up, I water it in. And so here's one that's been sitting for a couple weeks, maybe a week or a week and a half. And so I try to give it a tug, and I can't get it out. And that kind of lets me know that it might have rooted. Here's another smaller sucker, and it's done the same thing. So I'm gonna dig down just a bit with my fingers and try to pull it up and see if we have roots. I feel them. Yes, look at there. Look at there. So this was a sucker. You see how straight it is? The stem. This was a sucker. And it only took about a week and a half to grow roots. Now I have a whole nother plant. A whole nother Cherokee purple tomato plant. And let's check the little one here. Yeah. It's got roots. I can feel them. Yep. Look at there. So that's just an idea of how you can succession plant tomatoes. It's also a good idea to plant more because something might happen, right? And so here's another whole big tomato plant that I'm making sure that the soil is over it. I'm gonna get some water and water it in and make sure that mulch is back over. Here's another that I just pulled, the one I just pulled out. I'm gonna stick it in right beside the other one and do the same thing. Give me a second and I'll go get some water. Okay. Just water them in, and I'm going to give them a pretty decent drink because I want this to be really wet. Really wet. They're gonna limp over and kind of wilt. It'll have this wilt look because basically you just shock the plant took it from its source, right, its energy source. So it's gonna go through a little bit of plant shock, but that's okay, just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Okay, so now, daggone it, where am I gonna put these? I don't know.